Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Convincing win. Your thoughts on your play today?
I thought I played a really solid match again. I thought I came off or started really hot and kind of was able to keep the momentum, even with a couple, shifts there in both sets. But I felt like I didn't quite let her get too comfortable today. I thought I started off playing pretty aggressive, making her move a lot and just kind of pressuring her serve as well. And, luckily was able to kind of, execute that throughout the whole match.
Thank you. Congratulations once again. One question each, please. Hands, Richard.
I'm just thinking about last year, Toronto, Cincy, coming in here, you had so many matches, and you said you play well when you've got a lot of matches going, and yet this year's a little bit different. Here you are again in the late stages. Mm-hmm. It works either way for you, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I don't need as many matches as I thought. But no, I think having matches and having that confidence always helps, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that it's going to translate into going deep into a slam. I think I've gotten somewhat of a favorable draw leading up to today. I think I haven't really had to play anyone like matchup wise as well that has really bothered me a ton. So I think that's helped, but at the same time, I've been able to kind of go into those matches and really like take care of business. And so I think that's also what's given me a lot of confidence as I've had, I've played good players, but convincing wins over those players. And then today, we know Barbora can play how she plays and she's super dangerous. And there was even moments in the match where she hit some really good shots where I felt like the momentum could have shifted and stuff like that. But I did a good job again of, I think, playing the score really well, recognizing those moments, the momentum shifts. And I think that's something I've done well throughout every single match, which is kind of giving me, the confidence that I've needed to work my way all the way to the semis.
Matt?
Well done, Jess. And so how important was it for you after Wimbledon to sort of get back on track in a slam? I remember you were just, I think it was the first time in a really long time you'd lost in the first round in a slam. And sort of, was that on your mind at all coming in here? And is this sort of get your stamp of approval getting to the semi?
Of course. To even make the second week to then quarters, semis is a huge accomplishment. This was my biggest accomplishment last year, was just getting past the quarterfinals. So now I can say I've done it twice. But Wimbledon wasn't great, but I think I was a little, frustrated after Wimbledon because obviously I won Bad Homburg and I was playing so well. And then of course, you see Iga go on to win Wimbledon. And I was like, I felt like I was playing good tennis and it just did not translate at all for that first round. And I played someone that was playing really, really well. And that sucked. So it was kind of back to the drawing board. I got to spend a few weeks at home, but I think for the first few weeks, I was kind of maybe overthinking a few things that I felt like I needed to do better on the hard courts instead of just going back to like how I know I can win a lot of matches. And then I lost a few tough matches against Layla. I was up against Sevastova in Montreal and I kind of felt like I did not play well that match. And there's just a lot of things. I was trying a different string. I was doing, I think, too much. And so our goal
July
in Montreal.
Like this summer.
Sorry, this summer. I'm talking about this summer. Yeah. And I just, just felt like when we came into after Cincinnati, another tough loss to Magda, I think our goal was just to like get back on track and simplify things. And so that's kind of there was a lot of things that have happened since Wimbledon, I guess is my point. There was a lot of ups and downs, a lot of interesting practices. Honestly, even leading up to the week before here. So the goal was to simplify things and to get me back playing my game. And I feel like we've been able to do that. So I'm really, happy that the challenge was met, I guess.
In the middle.
Hey, Jess, congratulations. Presumably in the Final Four, there are no more favorable draws. It's going to be the best of the best. How does having these convincing wins with the favorable draw, as you put it, kind of set you up for success going into this?
Well, to clarify, playing Barbora is not easy. Like she's won 2 slams. She's came back from match point. She beat, Emma, who was a semifinalist last year. So it's not that I thought today was favorable at all. We've seen her do this where she starts getting deep in tournaments and she wins a Grand Slam. So by no means was that favorable. I think the matches leading up, just ranking wise, maybe I feel like I just had a lot more experience. It wasn't that I don't think I played any bad. I don't think anyone's a bad player, but I just felt like I was really able to use my experience, especially playing out on Ash, to kind of convincingly win those matches. But like you said, I mean, I saw the quarterfinal roundup, and it's all really tough matches. I mean, there's people that have won slams. Everyone's at least been to a slam final, and so it's kind of cool to see that, you know, all those players, all that experience have gone deep here, but it just gets harder from here on out. And no matter who I play next, it's going to be a tough challenge. But, you know, at the end of a slam, you expect that to happen, and you expect people to be playing their best tennis and to be playing the best players, because those are the people, even if they're not ranked high or whatever the scenario is, you know, for those weeks, those are the players that are playing the best. So I think it's going to be tough either way, but I'm just happy that I've been able to kind of work my way even to this point, considering where I was a few weeks ago.
Billie.
You mentioned we don't yet know who your opponent will be, so I'd like to ask you about each one individually, starting with Aryna. How did you process what happened at the end here last year, and how is your mindset today going into a match against her, if that's who you play?
I mean, I think it would be cool to be able to get revenge, obviously. I didn't even remember the score. I think I saw, was it like 5-5 last year? 7-5, like I didn't even remember it being that close, which was kind of funny, because I think after the final, I was just so like, wow, like we should be in a third set right now. Like I was very like, there's so many things. I was like, I didn't serve well, I could have gotten better. But like I wasn't very, you know, what a great match. Like, I'm happy to be in the finals. I literally walked off the court and told my coach, like, well, I didn't serve like that well. Like my serve needs to get better. I didn't do this well, or I didn't do that well. And that's just the mentality that I have, is that I tend to look like how I can get better so quickly, which is good. But also in a way, I think coming into this year, seeing the feedback from all the fans and how much support I've gotten, I was like, wow, actually, like last year was pretty incredible. And I went on a crazy run, and I played some girl that just happened to be have an even 5% crazier run than me, but winning Cincinnati, beating me in the finals, and then going on to win the US Open. And it was 5-5. I didn't even know the score. And I was like, wow, I was right there. So I think this year I've come back with a different perspective, knowing that I wasn't playing well, to really enjoy the fact that like, this is pretty cool. And then I've had really good results here, and I have so much support. So that's been really nice. And I think going into it, if I was playing Aryna again, I would probably have that mentality, instead of maybe being so focused on like what I have to do so strongly, instead of competing and like enjoying the crowd a little bit more, and enjoying the fact that I'm in this position again to possibly be in another final, and I'm playing the best player in the world. And I think there's a lot other perspectives that I would take into it this time.
So you've covered that possibility. If it's not Aryna, what are your thoughts about the other possibility?
I mean, Marketa's been playing some amazing tennis. And again, it's so funny with the Czechs. They just kind of like pop in, and they're just like, yeah, we're just going to like, you know, go deep this week. And then you don't see them for like months, and then they come back, and they're also nonchalant and like so dangerous. So I think that's how I always feel with Marketa. She's always playing really good tennis, has beaten a lot of really good players already, beaten seeds, served amazing against Rybakina the other night. So, I mean, she's shown that she can also beat Aryna. You know, she beat her before Wimbledon. So she's just dangerous. And I think she's tricky. She's a lefty. We had a really close match at the French. Haven't played on hard probably in a while. So, I mean, that would be different and kind of interesting. But again, we've had a lot of really tough, close matches. And I would take it the same way. Like, it's not easy, basically.
Two more here, and then
Jannik,
Tamani.
Congratulations. You've got both of your coaches here at the US Open, and an increasing number of players travel with 2 or 3 coaches. I have the impression that's a growing tendency that many players travel with at least 2 different coaches. As a member of the Players' Council, are you worried that this might perhaps widen the gap with the players that can't afford a second coach or a third coach?
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not worried about that. I don't think everyone functions well with having multiple coaches. I think it's become more normal than what we've used to seeing. Usually my two coaches aren't together at the same time. Usually they're separate. They come in for different weeks, and very rarely would I be paying them, for both being here. I kept it the same this year because that's just what happened last year. And I don't really think everyone responds well. I mean, it's hard too to get a team on the same page, to get two coaches on the same page. I don't think it always works for everybody. To be honest, I actually like having less people around. I like kind of keeping it small compared to some of these other teams where there's like 6 people. I would not want that, nor do I strive to have that every single week. So I really think it's more of a preference, to be honest. Obviously, top players could probably afford to have as many coaches as they wanted, but I don't always think that's better.
Okay. Final question, Tamani.
Just congrats. Given the challenges you described this summer and the difficult week leading up to this tournament, what do you think it says about you that you've been able to kind of turn it on and find your best tennis, really at the biggest tournament of the year for you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess surprised myself. And I think at the end of the day, I always come back to the fact that I'm pretty confident with who I am. And I think I'll always back myself and figure things out in the end instead of kind of spiraling and letting it go too far. I mean, I definitely do that a little bit, but I think I always catch myself just in time. And that's kind of what I've been able to do for the last 4 or 5 years, like being a top player. I feel like I can always come back to the fact that I can figure it out in the end. And that always kind of hits me in like the toughest moments of the year. I mean, still doesn't mean it's easy, and it's obviously a challenge always, but I think now, especially as I've gotten older, I can just tap into a lot of the experience that I have. And I think too, this week, I've just really tried to get back to competing and enjoying competing and keeping the attitude, great and positive, and enjoying playing on Ash in front of the fans. And again, kind of taking that into account and getting back to more the fun aspect of playing, which is, I mean, that is fun. It's not fun to go out there and stress yourself out and, be worried about how you're playing every second of the day. But I definitely did that for a few weeks, but I guess I got over it.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jess.
Yeah.